Once upon a time, food was just food. You didn't even know what a calorie was. You ate when you were hungry and you stopped when you were full. Do you remember that? But now you feel guilty the minute you eat something you shouldn't. Maybe it's cheats or off-plan food. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's making you feel guilty every time you eat. And I'm going to give you some tips to help you deal with this. I'm Lara, psychologist and wellness coach, and I can help you transform your health mindset so you can break free from dieting and love your body again. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified every single time I post a new video. And side note here, if you are interested in finding a little bit more about the mindset shifts that you can use to break free from dieting and learn to love your body, then you can download my free guide. It's in the links below and it looks like this. My clients tell me that once upon a time, food was enjoyable. Perhaps as long ago as being a child, but now it's shameful and something to feel guilty about. The mindset shifts I'm sharing with you today have been absolutely key in helping my clients break free from that dieting trap and make peace with food again. Mindset shift number 1 is to ditch the diet. There are so many reasons why dieting makes you feel guilty. Diets are about restriction, so you could be restricting certain food groups, fat or carbs, for example, or you could be on a very low calorie diet. When you restrict your diet, your body's survival mechanisms kick into play and your brain is programmed to notice food around, your hormones go haywire so that you feel more hunger and you have to eat more to feel full. And actually I spoke a lot about that in this video that looks like this, and it's in the links below. There are certain diets out there that are recommending 800 or 1200 calories per day. Did you know that the average toddler needs between 1000 and 1400 calories a day? So you go on a restrictive diet, you feel more hungry, you're told to increase your activity as well. When you increase your activity, that makes you hungry because your body's saying, hey, I'm expending more energy, I need more energy. And so you feel more guilty as a result. Maybe you're feeling guilty just because you want that food, even though you're not meant to have it. Maybe you're feeling guilty because you're craving all the bad foods, or maybe you're feeling guilty because you restrict yourself and then suddenly that gives way to a massive binge because you can't cope with that restriction anymore. Basically, the whole diet concept is set up for making you feel guilty. So ditch the diet. Mindset shift number 2, no more food rules. If you've been on a diet, you'll know that food is labelled as either good or bad, cheat versus treat, on plan, off plan. There are rules to be followed. The diet starts and all the sweets and pastries, maybe high carb foods, they immediately go into the bad category. These foods become dangerous, they become fascinating and totally off limits. So you end up fighting with food. Food becomes your enemy. Every mouthful is weighed or checked or counted. Is it okay? You're either being good and sticking to your plan, or you're craving bad and feeling guilty. Too many labels, too many rules, too much guilt. And let me just check in here with you quickly. Is this something you've done before? Ever labelled food, cheat versus treat maybe? If this is you, just drop me a message in the comments box below and let me know what kind of labels have you used in the past. Number 3 is to tune into your hunger. It's time to ditch the diet, all those labels and rules, and instead start tuning into your hunger. I know you've probably done it a million times when you've been on a diet where you feel those hunger pangs and you do your absolute best to ignore it. How many times have you denied your hunger when you're munching on a celery stick saying,
"This is okay, this is filling me up"?
If you're a chronic dieter, you're probably used to eating at a specific time, on a specific plan, and only if you deserve it. But what we need to do is get back in touch with our biological hunger. I actually remember when I was recovering from chronic dieting, I find it really hard to tune into my body and work out what my biological hunger was. I was so disconnected with my body, I'd forgotten what hunger was really like. So the first step for you is to start listening more closely to your body and identify when those hunger pangs actually start. And this is going to be different for absolutely everyone. So you might feel a mild gnawing in your stomach. Maybe you actually have rumbles in your stomach. Maybe you feel a bit lightheaded or a bit dizzy. And remember, sometimes you're going to eat not just because of biological hunger. Maybe you have something called taste hunger, where you just fancy the taste of something. I know sometimes I have that after I've been out for a meal and I really fancy just the little taste of dessert, not necessarily a whole dessert, but something that I share with someone to get that taste because I fancy something delicious. Or maybe sometimes you eat because of practical reasons. So if you are going out for an event or something and you know you need to eat before it, you might eat a bit earlier than normal, but you know that you need to eat then because you'll be starving later. So there are different reasons why you might eat. But actually what we want to do is really tune into what our body is telling us. So keep checking in with yourself and remember this is all about progress and not perfection. Number 4 is to feel full and satisfied. Somewhere along the line in chronic dieting, you totally forget how to eat for pleasure. Food becomes that enemy and eating is this battleground. You're fighting with the temptation of bad foods and trying to use your willpower because you've spent so long feeling guilty every time you eat. And how many times have you been craving something, maybe something like a biscuit, and you sit there and you look at that biscuit and it's so tempting and you feel guilty because you want to eat it, and then you think, no, I'm on my diet, I'm not going to eat it, so you go and find something else instead. Maybe you get some rice cakes and cover them in hummus, and you have that. Maybe you end up eating more because you're just not feeling that sense of satisfaction. You finish eating your rice cakes and hummus, you're like, oh, still don't feel satisfied. Those biscuits are staring at you and you think, oh, I've just got to have one. And you eat one and then that turns into eating 10. How much guilt do you feel right now? Imagine instead a totally different scenario where you have given yourself unconditional permission to eat. You come downstairs, you see a biscuit on the side and you think, oh, quite fancy a biscuit. And you have that biscuit, and because you know that there's no restriction, if you wanted you could eat 10, but you give yourself that opportunity to eat it. You felt the hunger pangs, you eat the biscuit because it's something that you fancied, you enjoy it, you savour the taste of it. Because you're getting that sense of feeling and satisfaction, it's a totally different experience. Most people, when they're totally tuned into their body, can eat that one biscuit and leave it there. So often when we take the restriction away, the guilt goes away with it. And so we can allow ourselves to just have one biscuit or just have a couple of squares of chocolate. You eat it, you enjoy it, you feel satisfied, and your craving stops because you know you've given yourself unconditional permission to eat. So I hope you find those mindset shifts helpful. If you want to explore any further, I've put some links in below. And I've also put my free guide there. It's 5 mindset shifts that you can use to break free from dieting and learn to love your body. It looks like this, and it's in the links below. And check out these videos next for more health and mindset tips. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and please do share it with your friends. Bye for now.